It seems like every year there's a real threat of a
government shutdown.
Lawmakers racing to reach a deal to avoid a government shutdown.
Saturday, 11:59 p.m. deadline to avoid a government shutdown.
What if one day the government of a nation as prominent as the United States of America shuts down? Sounds impossible? Well, we were quite near to this impossible situation turning into reality. What? Yep, you heard that right. Want to know more about this shutdown? We've got you. In this video, we will discuss the US government shutdown. In the grand theater of American politics, government shutdowns are like the recurring fruitcake of holiday seasons. They keep showing up. No one really wants them and they often leave a bitter aftertaste. Picture Congress as a dysfunctional family gathered around the holiday table, squabbling over who gets the last slice of the fruitcake, while the rest of the world watches with a mix of amusement and dismay. Now the main question. Why is a shutdown likely in the fall of 2023? Well, the potential for a government shutdown in the fall of 2023 arises from disagreements in Congress over spending levels. While the Senate Appropriations Committee has passed all 12 appropriations bill with bipartisan support, House Republicans unsatisfied with spending agreement made with the White House aim to spend less. These differences, along with controversial provisions in the House bills, could lead to a shutdown.
We're all hurting here. We want to work. I want to work. I want to serve my country.
Our budget is blown out of the water. I have no idea how to plan for what's next.
Next up, continuing resolution. To avoid a government shutdown, Congress can pass a continuing resolution or a CR, a temporary spending bill that funds government operations until a specified date. CRs often maintain funding at the prior year's levels and can be a stopgap measure. However, they can disrupt agency planning and are not a long-term solution. So, how about the frequency of these government shutdowns? Well, government shutdowns are relatively rare but have occurred in recent history. Significant shutdowns happened in 1995 to 1996, 2013 and 2018 to 2019 with varying durations and reasons. And what happens to the economy here? Well, a short government shutdown has a limited economic impact, but a prolonged one can have a more severe consequence. Goldman Sachs estimated that each week of a shutdown reduces GDP growth by about 0.2% points, with recovery afterwards.
As long as the shutdown lasts for, a couple of weeks, which is our base case, then it should be manageable. If the shutdown lasts for a long time, then maybe not quite as manageable. But of course, it's temporary. No matter what, the government will eventually reopen, even if it does shut down.
The 2018 to 2019 shutdown, for instance, reduced GDP growth by 0.1% and 0.2% in the affected quarters. Government shutdowns are a reflection of the challenges and complexities inherent in the US political system. While they may appear as mere battles of wills amongst lawmakers, they have far-reaching consequences for the American people and their economy. The specter of federal workers furloughed without pay, disruptions in essential services, and economic repercussions is a stark reminder of the importance of governance and compromise in a democracy. As the nation braces for another possible shutdown, the hope is that the wiser heads would prevail, allowing the government to continue functioning and averting the turmoil that a shutdown can bring to countless lives. Now that we know the technical basics, let's unravel some major aspects of this shutdown. Act 1. The absurd causes. Number 1. A never-ending drama. Government shutdowns are like a never-ending soap opera with a new episode each fiscal year. The plot revolves around Congress's failure to agree on a budget appropriations, leaving essential government agencies in budgetary limbo. It's as if the writers can't decide on a storyline, so they keep recycling the old plot twists. Number 2. Partisan shenanigans. The central characters in this drama are the Democrats and Republicans. locked in an eternal tug-of-war. They argue over funding for hot-button issues like healthcare, immigration, and national security, creating a political telenovela that leaves viewers shaking their heads in disbelief. Number 3. Budgetary topics. Imagine ordering a pizza and then arguing with your friends about which toppings to put on it. That's exactly what happens in Congress's lawmakers squabble over the budget, with some insisting on extra toppings like policy riders, while others just want a plain cheese budget. Number 4. Debt limit tightrope. If government shutdowns were an opening act, the debt limit standoff is the grand finale. It's like a circus performer trying to juggle flaming swords on a tightrope. Failure to raise the debt ceiling can lead to a catastrophic financial fall, leaving the audience in shock and awe. Act 2. The slapstick impacts. Number 1. Furlough follies. During a shutdown, federal workers are like actors who show up for rehearsals but don't get paid for their performances. It's like rehearsing a play for free, hoping for a standing ovation but receiving an empty applause. Number 2. Essential service comedy. Some government services deemed essential continue to operate during shutdowns, but the employees often work without pay. It's as if the comedy club headliners get all the applauses and tips, while the opening acts perform for free. Economic roller coaster. Shutdowns aren't just political theatre. As discussed earlier, they're economic roller coasters. They are like inviting friends to a theme party, but the rides keep breaking down and nobody gets their money worth. Number 4. National Park Paradox. The status of national parks during a shutdown is a puzzling subplot. Sometimes they are closed for safety reasons, and other times they remain open with limited services. It's like trying to enjoy a theme park when half the rides are closed and the cotton candy machine is on the fritz. Number 5. Tax refund delays. The IRS, often considered essential, keeps operating during a shutdown, but tax refunds may be delayed. It's like ordering a pizza for delivery and waiting for hours only to receive half of it with a note saying, "Sorry, the oven was on strike." Act 3. The peculiar implications. Number 1. Trust troubles. Shutdowns erode public trust in Congress faster than a clown car emptying at a circus. Citizens wonder if lawmakers will ever get their act together, while the politicians keep piling into the tiny car, making it a real circus act.
If these people lose this little bit of what they get already, not only is it going to cause so many people to go hungry, but it's also going to affect so many pantries like myself. I think it's kind of hard for a lot of people to realize just how serious it is.
Number 2. Polarization peculiarities. These shutdowns both reflect and amplify political polarization. It's as if Congress is stuck in a never-ending pizza feud, with each party claiming that their toppings are the best, while the pizza continues to get cold. Number 3. Economic entanglements. Shutdowns introduce uncertainty into the economy, making it feel like a roller coaster ride through a financial funhouse. Businesses and investors hold their breath, hoping they don't hit a sudden dip or a sharp turn. Number 4. Administrative acrobatics. Federal agencies are like circus performers trying to keep their acts going, even when the big top collapses. They juggle responsibilities, adapt to funding uncertainties, and hope they don't fall off the budgetary trapeze. Number 5. Fiscal fireworks. The economic aftermath of shutdowns can have long-term fiscal impacts. It's like setting off fireworks at a budgetary parade, spectacular to watch, but often leading to unintended consequences. And the circus continues. Government shutdowns are undeniably the circus of American governance, a spectacle that's as absurd as it is recurrent. If no deal is struck by 17th November, then the US will have its first shutdown since early 2019. More than 1.3 million active duty members of the military and thousands of air traffic controllers will be among those working without pay. In recent shutdowns, the military was still getting paid because the Defense Department has a separate funding deal, but that has not happened this time.
Our lives don't stop during that time, so we have bills, we have apartments, we have kids, we have to eat, and we don't have another source of income.
This will impact the Food Assistance Program, federally funded preschool, the issuing of student loans and food inceptions. And national parks will close. It will also affect tax refunds and relative administrative activities such as income and social security number delays, which could prevent people from getting other services such as mortgages. In 2013, there were some surprising consequences such as American cemeteries closing in Europe and the US-Canada border only being patrolled by one person. As we sit in the audience with popcorn in hand, we can't help but wonder when the clowns will exit the stage. Until that day arrives, we'll continue to witness the odd and hilarious performances of the political circus, while secretly hoping for a more orderly and predictable show. And while we talk about performances, how about you start following us and help us perform better? How? You know the drill. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share it with fellow enthusiasts. Until we meet next, stay curious, stay awesome. Volt of Vokes, signing off.